Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back to day 2 of hanging out with XayLi Barclay here on Adobe Live. Welcome back. Thanks for coming, XayLi.
Man, thanks for having me. I had so much fun yesterday. I'm looking forward to today's stream as well.
Because if you didn't have fun yesterday, we couldn't get you back today. It's impossible. That's why we have to. That's what we have to do. We have to make sure that everything's good. It's good to see everybody hanging out in the chat. We got Reverb Mike hanging out. We got Alberto back again from yesterday. Noor is hanging out. Always good to see people hanging in the chat. We want to see, who you are, where you're from, what you do in Premiere Rush. What kind of content are you making? Because XayLi, you are a video content coach. You teach creators how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
For those out there who maybe weren't here yesterday or are not already following on the social medias, please let the people know who you are and what you do.
Yeah. Like Evan said, I'm XayLi Barclay some days. I am a video content creation coach, and I'm also a Thinkific expert. So if you are in that world of online courses, you need video to create a deeper connection, especially when it comes to your attracting the right people, nurturing them, marketing to them, and selling to them as well. So that's where I, bring a lot of joy to people, because a lot of people are shy about getting on camera and they're confused about the tech associated with it and how to put it all together, even how to sell on camera, what to say, all of those things. So that's what I really enjoy doing. And you can find me at XayLi Barclay across all socials. And that's my website as well, XayLiBarclay.com.
And yeah, confidence on camera, so important, but like the ability to help creators monetize their knowledge, I think is so great.
Yes.
So, I love that you're doing that in the world. And to the people in the chat, if you have any questions about any of the stuff you see, any of the stuff we're getting into, do let us know in the chat. I'm on it. I'll get your quandaries. We'll get to them. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching the restream on YouTube, well, come on over to Behance. We want to see your chats in here. We want to see what you're up to. We got Krishna in the chat. We got Andreas here. We got Cornell hanging out. So good to be so many people here. And yesterday we were editing some stuff. We saw you were cutting down some work in Rush, and today we're going to continue on with that, right? What are we up to today?
Yeah. Well, first we want to preface, if you weren't here yesterday, we're using Rush because it's really easy and you have all of those tools at your fingertips. And I always say, for the people that I teach, we want to be able to get in and out of an editor, especially as creatives, because I do attract creatives and we like to get stuck in things and never sell the things that we're making. And so that was one of my struggles as a creative, and it's something that I've been able to overcome and help other people with. So Rush is perfect for that, because you have all the tools that you need, just enough at your fingertips so that you can produce your stuff and get out, right?
That's what we want to do.
Yes. Well, sometimes. But today we are knee deep in editing. So yesterday when we left, I still had some audio to figure out and things like that, but I got that all together because I didn't want us to take too long going through that, right? And so now today what I'm going to do is add some additional audio and just make sure that I'm giving everything a once over. I may add some titles in there and some transitions, and yeah.
Yeah, that's great, because people yesterday had some questions about titles, transitions, all that fancy stuff.
Yes.
But before we get into it, just to let everybody know, this is a rich full day of activities here on Adobe Live. So you're going to be watching us right now. However, after this, you got Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge with Julia coming up after this. We have editorial design, Ashley Armstrong after that. We got some XD creative challenges. We got Draw Along with Kyle T. Webster, and then design off at the end of the day Voodoo Val taking on Emmy from Good Rad Funny. So it's a big day of stuff. Always so many things to hang out and to just chill with us here. Stay creative, recharge your creative batteries, and learn about some new things here on Adobe Live. So hopefully you can stick around for all those things. And I did mention creative challenges. We have a challenge today. So we're in day 4 of the creative challenges. Today, Jason Levine, we've showed you the tutorial for today, which is about making dynamic sequences using multicam. XayLi, do you use multicam in Premiere Pro? Do you get into that?
Not really.
It's so great.
I
It's
can imagine.
One of these great things where you can take a bunch of, like, let's say you're shooting a multi-camera thing, right? You get maybe 3 angles on a scene, you sync them all up by their audio, and then it's just like being in a control room. You get all the thrill of saying, ready camera 1, take camera 1, ready 2, take 2. Okay. So that was, when I was a PA, that was the thing I wanted to do the most. And now you can literally do that. It's great for interviews, it's great for music videos, so good. But again, that's a Premiere Pro thing. We're in rush today. So let's get into it, continue on from where we left off. And like I said, people in the chat, let me know if you have questions and I'll pass them along. But XayLi, what are we doing next?
Well, so we're editing a video. If you weren't here today, we're editing a video about creating talking head videos, right? So this video is actually for my online course, and it's me teaching people all of the things, all the moving parts for creating a talking head video. Just a simple video. The cool thing is that when you're creating online courses and you're creating, well, first of all, you need to know your course objective. What's the end goal for your student, after they've gone through all of that content? And then that helps you kind of build backwards and figure out what's going to be in your modules and in your lessons, essentially. So in this particular lesson, I want to make sure that I can tell someone, all of the tools they need, where they can position and place stuff, just to get some good video content, right? So that's what we kind of walked through yesterday. We spoke about B-roll. We also spoke about audio, locking audio within the track so you don't mess things up as you move along, and all of that jazz. So right now, speaking of Pro, one thing that I wish that we had in Rush is markers, so that we'd be able to, if I'm scrubbing through, giving it a once over and listening back to see where I want to add prompts and things like that, or call outs, that would be so awesome. I gotta write that down, But
well, look, if people want to add, they want to suggest features, head on over to Adobe User Voice. This is a shout out to the moderators hanging out in the chat with us here, who'll be posting links to all kinds of things. And if they're able to throw in a link to Adobe User Voice, that's a great place. If there are features that you wish were in there, there are a lot of voices, and we want to try to hear them all. So get your suggestions in there so the dev team knows what's up. It's critical. But yeah, even without markers, we'll soldier on. We can.
Yes, we're gonna make it, right? So let's say we're moving through, and I kind of, in this specific part, we spoke about natural light versus artificial light. And so I kind of want to make sure that I am letting that person know the difference. And we spoke about this yesterday. So if we have a call out of sorts, they would know the difference. So this shot is natural light. And you can see before that, I was showing, the window setup there. And then we have this shot at night in the same space. And this is artificial lighting, right? And so that looked like, I guess I didn't show what that looked like. Wow, how could I? But yes, this is artificial light. So a call out there would be me adding over here. Oh, there we go. I found the artificial light. It's somewhere in there. We're going to find it. So this would be me here saying this is natural light or daylight, right? And I think I mentioned golden hour in that part. Maybe we can listen.
Lighting. So I switched up this video to show you what natural lighting in the same setting looks like. So I have two huge panels of windows in front of me. And so I'm able to use natural light for filming as well. Everyone loves natural light. Natural light is the light of all lights.
Is it really now, Evan?
Look, it's the light of my life. So That's not true. I'm very pale. I hide from natural light whenever possible.
Oh my God.
But yeah, when filming, definitely great.
Yeah, definitely great. So the cool thing is that you're able to get into titles and find a cool title that you want to put. We're looking for something that is probably more of a lower third here. So let's see. Maybe I'll choose this one. This one looks nice and simple. I'm a really simple person when it comes to content. Yeah, well, sometimes. I like my images and videos to be brightly colored and have, great contrast and pop, because I feel like it stops people in their tracks, especially Evan and I were speaking about the scroll. Right. So I feel like if you are scrolling, you want to see something that's like, oh my gosh, what's this? I want to stop and look at it.
So, that kind of bold, unambiguous statement that'll make people
exactly observe. Yes.
I don't know if I would describe you as simple. I'd say maybe like elegant maybe is kind of the word we want to use, like where we strip away everything that is superfluous, right? And then we have the singular good vision, that I think is
I'm taking that, Evan.
I think I don't know. Personally, I think that we overcomplicate too many things.
You're absolutely right. So yes, you're so right. I like to think about my footage as being the more complicated part of it, or not even complicated, like you said, more elegant, or that standout piece. But whatever I add is going to be really simple and, to the point. I feel like it just is really good supplementation in that way, or it gives a good balance, or I don't know. But yeah, so I really like simple titles or simple things. Like even if we were adding a title at the beginning, I would essentially add something really simple there, and would be able to move in and probably add a transition, right? And I love that Rush also has simple transitions. I don't know. I just like simple stuff. I think I just really like simple stuff. So, for me, I feel like even being that it does have simple transitions in there, I'm not mad at it at all,
I mean, how many transitions do we need? It's not Star Wars over here.
That part.
I feel like a lot of times, look, I'm a nerd. I've watched a Star Wars too many times, but there's too many types of transitions in there.
Listen, I would have to agree. So, yeah.
Because what do we have? We have like cross dissolves. We have dip to black, dip to white. Is that it? And none?
Yeah.
Just hard cuts?
Yeah. And so, I feel like for me, that's the essentials. Like, sometimes I see people do a lot of transitions and I'm like, wait, this feels like a maze, or it feels like just so much going on. So I feel like simple transitions are best. I feel like they're much more timeless as well. Like when you go back and look at your content,
Some things, look, some classics hold up. I mean, Reverb Mike in the chat is really pro Star Wipe, so that's fine. We're not here to judge people's choices of wipes.
It's so true.
Do you ever have like a reason why you might use a dissolve instead of a cut? Like, is there anything stylistically you look for when you're choosing transitions?
Yeah. Like sometimes, so yesterday we were speaking about, at the beginning of my video, I like to do things that are probably relatable or help the person to just get comfortable and lean into the content. And I like using jump cuts there, because sometimes I will actually put my bloopers at the beginning of a video just to let someone know, yo, this happens to me as well, right? So I like a dramatic jump cut so that, we're just giving them that restart over and over and over again.
Lets people relax and get the feel of the thing as they're coming in. I love it.
No, I feel like because video is so close to television, we think that all aspects of media is perfect. And so we kind of tell ourselves that I have to be perfect getting on camera or creating content. And so we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. The other day I was looking at something that said that I can't even remember how many thousands of channels are started every day, but people don't essentially follow through. And it could be a mixture of the pressure, you know, maybe they feel like their stuff is not good enough, but yeah.
Yeah, it's the volume of projects started but never completed, or
yes.
Somebody like, I'm going to do something, I'm going to post something every day. Well, that's a pretty high bar, not going to lie. Alberto is asking where will we be sharing this video when it's completed? And follow-up question, where can people see more videos that you make?
Yeah, that is a really good question. Maybe I can post this video to YouTube. Yeah. I think that'll be fun. And I'm XayLi Barclay over on YouTube. So yes, if you search me, you can find me there. And my tutorials are really based on video content creation, tools that you use for online courses to market and sell your online courses, to build them, and just even like creating workbooks and things like that, like simple, easy things that people overthink. And we just want to get started, make the sale, and then improve as we move along, right?
Perfect.
So yes.
Go, Alberto. Check those out. Not right now. Hang with us right now.
Yes, we need you here.
Stay here. But yeah, please, let's keep it going.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking of a good subtitle here.
We could always ask the chat if the chat has a good idea for subtitles.
That would be really good.
Always let us know. We got about 120 little producers hanging out with us to give us suggestions. So do let us know in the chat what you think the subtitle
would be really good. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe I might I also like testing things, because a lot of times we think something works, and maybe, you know, if you test something else, it might look better, you know? So I do believe in testing and trying things as well. Sometimes you'll try something and I like Dip to Black better, but you know, why not like play around and try? I feel like, especially when you're editing, that's something, that's how you develop your eye, I feel like, and start trusting your eye. Because as creatives, sometimes we don't trust our eyes. Does that make sense, Evan?
Oh yeah, it's. Look, I second guess myself almost every decision I've ever made. So.
Or engagement and
yes, I have to tell myself sometimes, like, just pick something, pick one, and just make that thing work.
Well, yeah, very critical to try things until you find your comfort zone.
Exactly. So that is something that is just, you know, just testing and trying things and not being afraid to be wrong, or, you know, we're all students and we're always learning, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
So yeah, take us through, you know, our opening moments here. What do we got to add in? What else does this need?
Well, so for me, I would, let's see, let's dive into this a bit more. For this title, right? Oh no, I added another one. Or did I? What did I do? Yes, I did. Oh, there you go. Well, if you guys can give me that subtitle, that would be pretty cool, right?
Newer seems to say the subtitle should be, "Do we really need a subtitle?" ?
I don't think so. You know, but you know, we're experimenting here. You know, like, but that is the question. I do like that question.
Yeah, sometimes less is more. I don't know.
I feel like that as well. Yes. So, ooh. I don't know if I like that. Let me see. All right. Let's Evan said less is more. And Newer said we don't need a subtitle. So let's just leave that like that, you know? Little dramatic entrance. Right?
Perfect. Everybody likes a dramatic entrance.
There you go. And so what I want to do as well is just go through and listen for, like we said before, places where, and to do that, sometimes it's just easier for me to zoom to fit, find where I need to be instead of scrubbing the timeline while it's zoomed, because that can get intense sometimes. So let me see if I said phone bracket here.
Place that I showed you that my camera was in.
So here would be a good place for me to add probably a call out or something. And there are some really cool ones, right? Like this. Oop, where is that? All right. And so you can see it here. And especially for educational videos, these are so good because you are then able to, like we were saying yesterday, sometimes you want to repeat what you're saying with a visual, right?
I like that these callouts are so simple. You just drag them in.
That's what I love. Like, it's so simple. And so we could get really complicated, but when you're creating, especially if you're creating your first online course and you are, like I said, you don't have that dream team of all, you know, the superstar editors and the videographer coming in to give you multicam and all of those things. You got to work with what you have. And sometimes you just got to whip your phone out. We spoke about lighting yesterday and not using, especially for a long editing day, natural light, because you'll end up with different colors of video content. But yeah, so just everything being so simple is such a gift, I feel like, at times. And you'll hear me say that a lot. Sometimes we overthink things that we really shouldn't be overthinking. Yeah.
You still have a lot of flexibility with these. Like, you can change the font, change your font style. Like, you can really make it your own.
You can. And I feel like when inside of Rush specifically, when you find a look that you like, you could just keep using that. You could keep repeating it. Even in presets, you're able to create your own presets inside of Rush. And I really like that feature as well.
Yeah. Oh boy, I think we might have preempted Hugo's question on this one. Hugo's got two questions. How do we create custom callouts? Meaning they want to add like a branded color to them, perhaps. And then his other question is about your title cards that I think we talked a little bit about yesterday, but we'll get to those too.
Yes, we can dive back into that for sure. But for your call outs, the cool thing is that you can change, like Evan was saying, you can change your fonts. So we can go in, and if you have a font that you use in your brand consistently, like let's say it's all over your website or, you know, anything else, you can use it here in your callouts. And you can also change that text color. So for me, most of my branding, one of my colors in the spectrum is FF5C5C. So I love that I can go in and plug that in there, right?
I like that you have that memorized. I memorized no hex codes.
I know all of my hex codes. It's so crazy. I don't know my credit card information though. And some people know that by heart, but I'm happy I don't, because listen, it would be a wrap. I like that I have to make the effort to go get it to shop.
Right. It's like, I can't remember the 7 digits of my phone number sometimes. So.
I was just laughing at that.
It's like, well, I remember 4 6-digit numbers for my branding, but when it's personal, it's I never call myself, so
exactly. Why would you know it?
Exactly.
And then you're also able to move spacing around. I think that's really cool too. So you're able to do a lot as far as customizations. It may not be all the fangle dangles, which is what we referred to it as yesterday, but you can do a few things well, right?
Man, there's a lot of things available. And they're like, wow, that template goes pretty deep.
Hey, yeah. Well, no, right? Like you can shift it around. But also, even when you are doing custom stuff, like make sure that it's readable. Like you can see there that this does not read very well.
Your phone in the exact place that I showed you that my camera was in. And what you would do is you would actually get a bracket for your phone so that you're able to.
Oh, I like that little animation too. You know?
Very futuristic.
Yeah. As futuristic as we could get.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because that color is it's not showing really well there, you would want to make sure that you're using something. So I'm just gonna go back to white. Right.
Yeah, mono-colored, keep it regular.
Yes. So I feel like even with our custom stuff, like we gotta be careful with what we're doing as well. You know, put a little shadow in there. I have a love-hate relationship with shadowing text.
People of the chat, let us know how you feel about drop shadow.
How do you feel, Evan?
I don't know, because like my early days were during the flat design boom. So you know, I've been taught to despise drop shadows and bevels. And
I remember when I was beveling and drop shadowing everything.
Everything gets a bevel.
I think that, yeah. I think that, yeah, that was definitely a phase and a cringe after a while, because it comes back to me making things a bit timeless. You know, like
the kind of Winamp aesthetic where various media player outlines. Oh man. When in doubt, let's put an inner bevel, let's put an outer bevel.
Exactly.
Anything else like a bevel on this?
But yeah, so that's a thing. You know, but yes. Okay. So now you're also able to go in and get cute with your outline. So like we said, there's a lot that you can dive in there and do as it pertains to it. But I sometimes feel like, for me, don't go too crazy on or too far away from the default. Like, you know, you can change up your colors and stuff in here. Make sure that it's readable and that you don't have to squint or, you know, to read it. But yeah.
Like say, when you leave the house, take off one accessory. When you
Yes. Ooh, that's something that I have to work on that. So then I'll be like, no, I like it just like I like it just like this.
I started with 7, so if I take one away.
Yes, exactly. But no. But yeah, so that's how you would do like simple call outs. And there are so many call outs here that you can add, which is so cool. Another cool thing is, let's say that you have a SRT file where you have all of your what's that? Captions, right? You can definitely add it as well, right? So that would look a bit like, let's say I wanted to caption the full video. I can also get in there and do that. Although we have services that do that now, but yeah.
Right. So depending on whether someone wants open captions or closed captions on the thing.
Yeah. Even for social videos. So let's think about that. Like if this was a social video, which is so cool, within Rush, you're also able to edit and just change your aspect ratio easily. And one thing I love is that when you change it, whatever you've done with your titles and stuff, it snaps into automatically that frame instead of you having to go in and resize everything. So that is so genius. And so we know that for Instagram, like IGTV, people like to, we might be at work, sneaking, looking at our phone, and maybe I can't put the volume up. So maybe I really want to see this video, but I can look at that visual and also read whatever you're saying. So I feel like this is perfect for that as well. Not saying that you should be sneaking, looking at your phone while you're at work.
This is all work related. This is it's important. Right. This is research.
Exactly. But you're able to go in and do that. So that is something that there's so many good things in here, guys, that you could just dive into and actually use with ease, things that we need that are essential with the way that we're consuming content as well. Right?
Oh yeah, it's, I don't know, we what is it, 90% of people, I don't know, it's a high percentage of people are watching Instagram videos with no sound on.
Yes.
So it's
a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a high number.
Yeah.
I don't know if Roland is hanging out in the chat today. He's usually coming in on the chats and the streams. He's got a lot of great stats about usage and.
Oh wow, that's pretty
stuff.
Cool.
He does a lot of template work and stuff. So he's usually got the inside track and stuff.
Oh wow.
We do have a couple questions though coming in from the chat. While you're queuing this stuff up. Newer is asking question. Seen some videos where they add things like explosions and memes. How would we add a meme? We can just drop JPEGs and PNGs in here, right?
Yeah, that is what I would do if I had to add a meme. I would, just drop it into the timeline. So you would just head into media, and hopefully you would have it in a file or on your desktop or wherever it is. You're able to just add it, which I think is really awesome, because then, now I'm thinking about social videos. Right? Because that's kind of where you would layer that kind of content. So the meme would be a bit of B-roll kind of. So you would put it on an upper track so that if you're explaining something, it goes into the meme. There's this meme that I'm now thinking about with this guy. I don't even know how to explain it. You have to see it. His wife is talking and he's next to her. And he's like barking. He's trying to describe something and he's barking. And someone said, when I can't find the Uber Eats driver, this is how I feel. But he's barking so ferociously. It makes it so funny. Yeah. I'm just laughing by myself because
someone find that meme and put it in
the chat. You guys need to find that meme. It's so funny. But yes.
Because I know a lot of those things are sometimes in-app, like TikTok things. Some of that is in-app.
Yes.
There's a lot of I think someone yesterday was asking about polling and other sort of social media integrations, but those would be things you'd have to integrate as stickers in Instagram. So it's not baked in.
But it's not impossible either,
That's
so true. That's the cool thing about it all, right?
And yeah, while you're queuing stuff up, I'll just remind people we do have a daily challenge on today. The video challenge is to do a little multi-camera dynamic storytelling with some clips provided. If you check out the challenge tab on behance.net/live where we're hanging out, then you can check out the challenge for today. Drop some of those into our Discord channel, into the video Discord channel. We've got a bunch of entries from yesterday to check out. Get your entries in today. I want to see people's multicam shots. Got to see that.
Actually excited to see that.
I know we're gonna be reviewing that stuff in roughly 56 minutes.
Okay.
So we'll count down in the corner so people know. Cool. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you're like, what are you talking about? Challenge tab, Evan? You sound crazy. That's going on behance.net/live. So come on over, hang out with us there, go through the challenges, learn a bunch of stuff. Let's get back into it though. Now we've moved on to a third track of video. What's going on here?
Yeah. So what I'm doing is just kind of using this track for B-roll. So it's a bit different from, I actually duplicated so that I'm able to share something different while I have something else rolling. I hope that makes sense. But I'm adding some titles in there. And so I love that I can just duplicate, the title, right? So you select whatever you want to duplicate and you just head over there and it does it, right? So I'm going to head over here and share that. This is artificial light.
Keeps the titles consistent. Anything that you've worked
up. Like I don't have to move it around again. Instead of it saying day-ite, it should say daylight. Right?
Day-ite. Just
the day's-ite. But yeah.
not apostrophes being used.
Exactly. A mess. Artificial light.
let's see here. But yeah, like I said, people of the chat, bring us your questions. We'll try to help you as good as we are able. A lot of discussion about, you know, the difference between Rush and Premiere that we talked about a little bit yesterday, and like the multicam thing, that's a Premiere Pro feature. Just so many more bells and whistles in there. All of the fandangles.
That's one of my favorite words.
It's growing on me.
I know. Yeah. Let me tell you, you'll be saying it and you'll be like, XayLi. You got me. Right. I know I want to put a call out here as well. Let me see here, because this is a specific type of fabric that I use for green screening. And it came from a lazy hack. So I would take my fabric down and just throw it on my desk, and that would like get it all wrinkled. And so I was like, when I'm ready to use it again, I would have to steam it. So I was like, there has to be an easier way. And so I ended up going to the fabric store and asking them if they have wrinkle-free fabric. And they ended up telling me about this fabric called poplin that is wrinkle-free. And it was actually just like $3 per yard of it. So I bought a bunch of it. And even if you fold it, it doesn't keep the creases. So a dream. So you don't need...
You should have called me, because all my shirts are made of poplin because I do not iron.
I don't iron either. Do not judge me. I see you guys judging me in the comments.
We wear very technical clothes. We're
there
very
you
technical
go.
people.
Yes. You know. So yes. But yeah, it's a really cool hack. Green screen doesn't have to be green screen.
Yeah. Saves you time on set. Gets you doing. Gets you back into making content faster.
There you go. Which is the key, right? So you don't want to stay too long in here. So for this, because it's like a lot of green, I would use maybe a call out that has an alternative color on it that is a bit visible. Haha, you said it says bring attention to something, and that is what we're doing. So, you know, this might be a good place to also use that color that I was telling you guys about. So it kind of goes back to branding, and you know what your hex code colors are. So I'm able to, instead of the blue that's there, get in there and add my own little pizzazz to it. Right?
Gotta keep it on brand.
Yeah, you know, and I think that's a good way to, especially, this is the thing, as creatives, especially as creatives and course creators, we think that our audience is looking at the creative things that we're doing, and they're not. They're just here for the transformation. So an easy way to make something yours is to have all of your hex codes and your brand colors, and that way you just switch it up and you keep it pushing, right? So you can get to selling the thing.
Yeah, like I can't tell you how relaxing it is when someone has a very codified brand guide.
Yes.
Like
you said that in a way where I see you being totally anxious if there's no like no.
What colors are your brand? Whatever.
Or black and white.
Yeah, that's what you get. If you don't tell me.
Just
tell me any colors.
Brand colors. What's that?
What is colors?
Exactly. But yeah.
But I like this because that kind of pink pops against the green.
Exactly.
Some complementary colors out here.
Yeah. You know, it's pretty fun stuff. So you can get in there, change around your colors. You can change around your shape outline. So you can see I just popped a bit of an outline in there. You can change that color as well. You know, different things that you could do. You could move this around. And the cool thing, like I mentioned before, if you need this again, all you have to do is duplicate it. So that way you don't have to go over adding all of these things again, right? So there are little things that you can do that can just keep things simple.
Yeah, and I think you're able to set like some favorites too, maybe in Rush. I think maybe.
You are. You absolutely are. but I'm not sure if you are able to do it. And let me see. I think yes, you can say you should be able to. I think what happens is if you use something over and over, it kind of like segments it, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and they got the nice little search bar.
Yes.
Keeping your libraries organized. I got too many libraries. I'm not gonna.
Let's not even go there because
I've come full circle on being organized.
Background.
The struggle.
Mm-hmm.
The actual struggle. But yeah. Evan, why do you love After Effects so much? Like,
it's a very personal question.
Do you feel seen?
I know. Well, so I mean, for me, the thing about it is that it opens up like another layer of control of things that I don't
like that.
I don't have if I'm shooting video. I started out on set, doing regular in studio things, and there are so many elements to control in there that has to be done quickly and on time and stuff.
Right.
But everything you do in post is you have the materials, then you're going to make something with it. So it's a lot of remixing. It's a lot of, I guess that's the difference between like remixing tracks or playing them live. And I prefer to have the space and the time to really consider and remix things around. As for why After Effects specifically, it was one of the programs that I started with when I was very young. So I have a lot of, I got a lot of hours logged in there. It's a really comfortable space for me to be in. I've recently started doing more things in Cinema 4D, because Cinema 4D Lite comes bundled with After Effects. But I don't know, creating motion design, I find really fulfilling. Maybe because I know I'll never be a traditional animator. This is as close as I can get.
I like that.
It's becoming more confessional than I hoped.
Yeah.
But so those are the things. Like for me, building a little branded template like feels really good. There's something really satisfying about getting those little micro interactions.
Right.
Creating like emotional reaction from nothing is really interesting to me.
Oh, I like that.
It's a square. How engaging can a square be?
Right.
Just you wait.
That's a really good way to look at it.
Yeah. So that's where I come from. But I don't know. I'm always. I think as a creative, we may always be envious of other creators and the craft that they do.
Yes.
So like I'm always peeking over the fence at what other people are up to. Like, ooh, hey, what's Kevin Perry doing over here with his stop motion? What's going on?
Yeah.
Or, like, oh, ooh, look at this editing. You've taken 5 clips and they become something like bigger than what they started with. Right?
Yeah, like, so true.
Like those little things like blow my mind sometimes. That from simple building blocks comes really compelling stuff.
That is so true.
Anyway.
No,
but enough about me.
You just dropped some gems there. Like, yes. But even sometimes that observation of looking at other creatives can keep us stuck.
Right. Can't be comparing ourselves to others.
Yes,
only to our past selves and our future ambitions.
That part.
Awesome. So yeah, where are we at now? We're getting more call outs going on.
So I'm adding in like, which is, like I said, so cool because what happens is I can just duplicate. Like I know that I'm going to talk about props right here. So I can just hit duplicate over here. And maybe I'll duplicate this one because it's a bit shorter. So I'm able to just grab that and move it over here where I am speaking about props. Right. So it just makes it so easy so I don't have to and I like that it comes in right when I'm doing something dramatic as usual. Right. so
like some big gestures out here.
Right. I try to be myself on camera,
Well, who else could you be, right?
That part. Come on with it. Yeah,
I don't know. I've been to a few too many YouTube content creator conferences, I think.
No, I love it. I do. I feel like, no, you're right. You hit the nail on the head a lot. That's a good thing.
Well, it's really interesting. Like, I know a lot of the stuff that you talk about is about finding confidence and being on camera, and these ideas about if you're pretending to be somebody, that's hard. That takes a lot more effort than being your authentic self, right?
Yeah.
So, and it shows.
It really shows. I think, especially on video, like you could pretend to be someone else in a photo and nobody else knows, right? Like, I could pretend to be Nicki Minaj in my next photo. Nobody's gonna know. But if I do that on camera, it's gonna, it's just, unless I'm a comedian and that's specifically what I'm trying to do, or, or an entertainer, yeah. So and then it gets tiring, because how long would you be able to keep up that facade for?
Oh yeah.
Until you really want to just be yourself, Yeah,
it's, like, you can kind of tell, like, when someone has those slips, they're like,
exactly.
there's moments.
Imagine slipping in and out of, like, who you're supposed to be at this moment, or you kind of forgot. Like, that would be funny.
It's tough.
Too. But yes.
Whatever happened? Yeah. What happened to Nicki Minaj?
Well, she's having a baby now.
Oh, Evan. Right. Sorry.
See, I would more wonder, like, what happened to Blue, because I don't hear anything about her anymore. Oh, did I just sell you out, Evan?
That's right. Don't reveal my secrets.
Okay, guys. So the poplin for green screen, this is some really good stuff. So this way, when I hit play,
thing, if you don't have a fancy background, is to either use a green screen. So I'm showing you that green screen fabric. Or
see, because I set it for that long, it tempts me to drag it out a bit. Right? But then it gets to a point where the call out is not directly on the fabric. So maybe what I would do is move it around a little bit so that it kind of is on the fabric for the whole thing. Let's see how that works. See, it's all about testing and trying.
Don't have a fancy background, is to either use a green screen. So I'm showing you that green screen fabric, or
call out. Okay. And we want to hit it before it shifts into something else. Right. And so I'm able to
use your wall and do something.
Now, because I'm hearing the audio, it makes me want to change things around a bit. So that it kind of matches with the audio. Right.
Right, because we talked in day one about how this is an audio-driven piece that you script the stuff out. For the people who may not have been here on day one, tell them a little bit about kind of how we arrived at this, like all the steps that led to having this thing. Because now we're at the phase where we're just putting little bits on top. But how did we get to this?
So we got to this by we were speaking about scripting, right? So do we script, or what's your workflow like? And for me, I love scripting out content. This way I have something to follow and go through. I feel like, it's not like a vlog where, and even with vlogging, I might be biased, but I feel like you should have an outcome for the vlog. Like something that is saying, well, let me have a goal for this. How do I want my people to feel after they look at this vlog? Should they be inspired? Should they be like sad? Well, I don't want to say sad, but motivated, or whatever it is. Anyway, so with online courses, having an outcome and knowing where your person is at the moment, like before they start. So I know that most people may not have a great idea of how to create, some good quality talking head videos, right? So I want to make sure that whatever I cover in here, they can walk away and at least have a new idea for green screens, or have a new idea for creating a more personalized background that they can use in their content, or understand where to put their camera as opposed to their lighting, especially if it's a small space. So that's the thing. Most people are creating at home, right? So walking them through that. And so within that, having ideas of what I want to talk about and making sure that I hit the nail on the head with it as I move through that audio. So I laid down audio first, and then I took basically B-roll from different places and layered it on top of that audio, so that when I'm describing something or talking about something, it's, or even if you don't pull B-roll, like I can record based on what I said. So if I know that I spoke about poplin, right, which is that really cool fabric, I'll make sure I have it and I get a shot of me. And so Evan asked that yesterday, do you create a shot list based on that audio? Yes. So I know I spoke about poplin. So I know I needed to get some stuff in there where I was actually showing it. So you can see that I just have it in my hands. Simple shot. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. And it still gives what I'm looking for. It shows the person what that fabric looks like. It gives them the name of it, and it lets them know why I use poplin specifically, rather than spending $60 on a green screen that when I, leave it wherever or fold it, like it ends up with the grids. That would drive me so crazy. And when you're filming in a small space, you may not necessarily have enough room so that gets blurred out, right? So you would see, anyway.
You see all the creases. You see them all.
I'm going crazy just thinking about it. So I script. I get that script laid out in audio. And so that's how we started with this video. We laid the audio first, and then we created supplementary content based on what we spoke about. The phone. This is another shot of B-roll, right? Where we dropped that phone bracket in there because I knew I was going to talk about that. And I knew I was also going to talk about how you could put your phone there and then put it on a tripod for easy creation if you don't have a DSLR. I always mess that word up, DSLR. I can't say it quickly. Can you say it quickly, Evan?
DSLR, yeah.
Ooh.
Rolls off.
and he just like, yeah, like it just flowed. However, I always have to I don't know, say that word like really
strong
slow.
Enunciation. DSLR.
DSLR. Every video, if you hear me say that, I have to DS.
That's the vocal warm up for every video.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, so starting with audio kind of helps me in that way. And I can do it both ways, and I do it both ways, but I've been enjoying this format of just filming B-roll and adding it to it's a little more engaging because this would have just been a full-on video with me talking through the whole thing. And we spoke about that yesterday because I wanted to give you great ideas and show elements of what this thing is like. I wanted to be able to share the things that I was talking about in a way. We spoke about a burger yesterday. See, that's why I was hungry yesterday. So I was thinking about showing how to make a burger versus just talking about it via audio. There's a difference there, right? But yeah. Did I answer your question?
Perfect.
I hope I did.
All right, let's get back into it. Let's keep it going here for the folks.
Yes. So in that now I'm able to have those call outs. And I think I was playing it when I started talking. So let's look and see. That's how we got there. Cause I was saying you got to listen to the audio to know where to put the call outs. Cause you don't want it not when you say it. It's going to be wait, where I saw this somewhere. And so let's see.
Where we see too much going on, mess in the backgrounds and things like that. The best thing, if you don't have a fancy background, is to either use a green screen. So I'm showing you that green screen fabric, or you can use your wall and do something to it that is signature to you. If you don't, a white wall is fine too, but spruce it up, make it yours. Anytime anyone sees these dots, they know it's one of my videos.
I never look back at my videos because of all the shenanigans going on.
Doing a Vanna White impression over here.
I feel seen right now. I feel so seen.
Love it.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny.
Look, as creators, we have to be comfortable seeing ourselves on film.
Yeah, it's a lot of self-awareness. I'm looking at myself like, what are you doing? Too much, as usual, but
gotta have big energy on camera.
Yeah, that's what I say. I rather that, you know, I'm doing something that I'd rather do too much than not do enough. Hey,
right.
Yeah.
I think that's it's
What are
such
your thoughts?
an interesting balance, right? Like
Yeah.
there's like that adage that whatever energy you're putting into audio recording, like if you feel like you're putting a lot of energy into it, you are not. Like you have to go really big.
Evan with the voices come through.
Come on down to Denny's. We have
right
30% off, mostly people voices. I'm not here to besmirch Denny's. This is the first radio ad that popped into my mind. But yeah, so in terms of, yes. I know, that's why we do this at lunch. So in terms of those, we got structure down, we're getting these things added on. Let's keep it going. Maybe we can even get into like exporting and dynamic reframing today. Maybe we'll see how far we go.
We will see how far we go. The next thing that I want to do is probably add a bit of audio, right? So I am talking throughout this video, but maybe I want to just add a little bit of, and we kind of spoke about this yesterday too, like I organize things and I film the way I script. So I already knew like what my introduction was, what would be in here, you know, and what I wanted to add. So I know what music I wanted to add here as well. So you just click that and you are able to add it, right? And so here's the thing with music. So maybe your track, first of all, because we're talking, okay, this is so much going on here. Hold on, guys. Here we go. You're able to duplicate that throughout, but first let us go into audio and make sure that it's not too loud, right? So let's like test that out to see
that this is for if you're filming in a
okay, I can't hear it.
Small space. There are different ways to set up your lighting, but this is what works.
Yeah, I heard a little bit, right?
A little bit in there.
Yeah, and you don't want it too loud because it's going to distract you, you know? And I have a wordless track. Remember we were speaking about that yesterday? So if you're speaking and your track has words in it, it gets a bit, I feel like I start trying to listen to, well, what song is that? Instead of it being more ambiance on the back.
I mean, I'm right with you. I'm a very lyric forward
Me too.
person.
Maybe
like,
that's what it is.
Like my wife has no concern about what words are being said in a song. She has no interest in listening to words, but so she really only hears, you know, the beat. She's hearing the instrumentation. But for me, I'm zoomed in. Like, what was that? Was that a midline rhyme? Okay, interesting.
Yes, that is so me. Oh my gosh! Wow.
Talk to me about your iambic pentameters. What's going on in here? This is why MF Doom is the greatest musician of all time. But that's for a different day. That is for a different day. So when you've got the music, when you're selecting a music track, what are you thinking about when you're looking through, you know, the various libraries now available on Adobe Stock, by the way, music is on there.
Yes. So what I'm really looking for is really depending on, okay, example, gosh, I was going to sing, but there is which would not be great. No. But there's like when we think about motivation or getting it done, and we think about, even I like looking at ads. I really love pulling from ads. So if you look at a Nike ad, the kind of music that they play when someone is running, it might start off and, start getting a little bit heavier and faster. So you want to think about things like that when you're looking for music for whatever you are creating, because this is more of an educational video. I want it to be really low, and I also want it to be just a bit of background ambiance. And I don't really even usually recommend music in educational videos, but for the sake of this awesome video today in Adobe Rush, I feel like it's distracting when you're learning, because we didn't have music.
It's an interesting balance to thread, right? Because I find if we're talking about like a more technical subject, the music really kills it for people.
Yeah.
But when it's a broader, more meta subject, the music's actually helping me on this.
Yes,
this
exactly.
journey.
Yes, that's so true. So just looking for something that is reflective of your content. There we go. Could have said that 10 minutes ago, Zay. Come on. But yes.
Got to have that synchronicity. It's important.
There you go. Come through with the words, Evan.
That's right. Giant thesaurus brain over here, I guess.
There you go.
I guess technically synchronicity is minor elements within a piece. Synchronizing. It's that Phil Collins song. Actually.
Yes. So I'm just going to really duplicate that in the same way using that same tool. I just love that it's so streamlined and easy. If I'm editing in here, I could be done within probably half an hour. And because it's content that you've actually taken your time and created, you actually kind of know, even like how I have things mapped out, like what's going to go where, when. So you could just come in and drop and flow.
Got to stay organized.
Yes.
People learn one thing from today. Be organized.
Yes. It makes post so much easier. Like, you know.
I mean, imagine getting in here like, oh, well, we talked about Poplin screens, but I did not shoot any footage of Poplin screens on the day. Oopsie doodle. You know.
Yes. And that's something that you would want to show because people want to see it. Or, you know, even thinking about like, what questions are people going to ask when they're going through this content, you know? So, and making sure that you kind of address or answer it, it's always helpful.
Speaking of questions, a question from Reverb Mike. He's asking, should we be crossfading our audio into, or like our music into itself? So we don't end up with these little dips.
Dead spots. Yes, that is definitely something that you should do. And so for me, what I would do in that case is if we look at, so I'm going to zoom in a bit and let's look at waveforms a bit. What I want to do is, because the song is going to end, so I should have done that even before duplicating, which was a good call there. So what I want to do is, so I can leave it here, but when I duplicate and I do that, what I want to do is, where did that go, guys? All right, this is where we move here. With this one, I kind of want to, I cannot talk and concentrate at the same time.
Very few people do
that skill. Okay, well, I thought I was, see, when you think something is wrong with you, ain't nothing wrong.
This is normal.
So that's what I would do, kind of so that it doesn't go through starting over the song again, right? So that's always helpful. And let me just zoom around. And yeah, so there we go. Right. So the song is not ending and starting over all the way again.
That setup that I just showed you, this is what the video content would look like. But
see, it like nothing. You don't even know what happened there. Right. So that's the cool thing.
We do have a question in the chat. Something I was thinking about earlier. Noor's asking, Noor's saying he's hearing us say the word B-roll all the time. When we're talking about B-roll, what does that mean in editing context, I guess?
Yeah, sure. So we have A-roll, which is your main content, right? And like I always tell you guys, I'm not the most techie, jargony person, but let's go. Let's see how well I do.
That's why I'm here.
I know Evan is judging me right now. However, so A-roll would be me if I was sitting down, like in this frame that you see here for the entire video, that would be A-roll. That would be the main video, right? So that would have been me talking and sharing, kind of like what we're doing now, right? And so even in this reference, B-roll would be a camera filming the computer kind of while I'm talking so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. And I feel like B-roll is more of an explanation, or it just adds depth to your content. And I will let Evan take it from here, but that's how I see B-roll. That's how I see B-roll. Like,
no, when I think the term comes from back when we had would have been like A/B. We talk about A/B editing. as a technique. Like we've got line edits, we've got A/B edits. When you look at people's timelines, I don't know if anyone follows Adobe Video on Twitter or
I follow on Instagram.
Yeah, please make sure you follow Adobe Video
So
on all
good.
their social channels, because on Tuesdays is Timeline Tuesday, and Timeline Tuesday is when they encourage people to just post a screen capture of their like their editing timeline, what it looks like, and you can clearly see like this one's a line edit, this one's an A/B edit,
Right.
this one is going up the stairs, this one's going down the stairs,
Right.
like it's you can see all kinds of these when you zoom out, all these interesting shapes in the way people organize their timelines. So A/B editing comes from that idea that we're going to have an A track,
right,
and then we're going to supplement that with the B stuff, like what goes on top of that.
Exactly.
When I had to cut, just cutting like news stuff, that's the way we did it. The A was always the interview, and the B was trying to explain what the concepts that people are saying in the interview. So when they're like, well, my house is full of cats, right? And then the footage is of like a bunch of cats going out the window.
Right, exactly.
And you'd always have a producer there like, do we have more B-roll of this? That's the number one question. Do you got more of the cats falling down? Get a second angle on that. We can just crop in. Okay, just move ahead in time, crop in, more cats.
That's a good idea. Yeah, there you go. That is so true. Kind of like, let's say I was even showing the phone, like zooming in on it some more would give a different perspective of, what I'm trying to say. But that was really good, Evan. And that voice.
Thank you.
So many things up your sleeve.
Today we're talking about B-roll.
Yeah, we're talking about B-roll.
But I mean, it's sort of a concept that can really help when you're even planning going out on a shoot.
Yes,
like that's
definitely
pretty critical. It's the worst when you get back and you're like, well, let's look in the archive because we don't have anything specific to this.
Yes. Yeah.
Or,
and that's always a bit rough, it's so good when you're talking about something and you already have B-roll based on it. And I think especially if you talk about one specific subject, as you move on, you're always going to have like B-roll that is going to be useful, because if you're speaking about the same thing over again, you'll have like lots of B-roll and that just creates a dimension for your content,
Yeah, there was a creator recently saying that they bought a new slider and they've been taking just constant 360 videos of every piece of kit in their space because they know at some point they're going to talk about that piece of kit like on camera. So I'll just have it on file, so when I need it, I can search my database.
A really good idea.
Have it. So it's like, but this is also what we would do in like a documentary question. And yeah, Cornell is asking again, what's A-roll, what's B-roll? I mean, I guess maybe that's sometimes subjective. That's getting more philosophical, but
yeah.
Think of it as we could throw away all the B-roll and still understand the story.
Yes. I like that one.
Boring, right?
Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah. See, Noor says that I nailed it.
There you go.
Awesome. So yeah, let's continue on. I know we have 20 minutes before we are going to be reviewing some submissions to the challenge. The challenge today is to make a multi-camera dynamic, little dynamic thing. Not seeing a lot coming into the Discord, but that's fine. We've got some things we didn't review from yesterday for day 3's challenge, so we might talk about those too. So we'll be reviewing something, but that's in 20 minutes for now.
That's actually awesome. I'm excited to see what is there today for sure. I think that one thing that I want to do is just go in a bit and add transitions to these spaces. So I'm looking now to see, like, does it seem harsh? Those are things I look for. And then, like I said, just playing it back and seeing what you think about it.
Worth it in my eyes. Can you see that? So I'm going to take you on the back end of my setup. I hope you enjoy.
I love that. So before we move on, though, I want to just ask about, like, you're basically crossfading between a bunch of the same angle, right? Which, in this case kind of feels like we're having like a passage of time maybe or something? Like, is this a technique that you use often?
I do. Yeah, I feel seen, but yes, I do. I do. I feel like it just gives dimension. I like when I'm looking at something and I'm always looking at, like, thinking about like, well, what's next? Or it feels a bit like a story, or, taking someone kind of into your world. And I feel like that's really important when we're creating content, so that, just so that they lose themselves from their world for a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring their attention from their space into your space.
Yes. Yep.
Perfect.
Yes. So, and someone asked earlier, so I created this in Photoshop. So I just created it, exported it as a PNG, and then dropped it into that content. And I did that with my titles as well. That way, it was just easier to keep that uniformity. I don't know why I like doing that sometimes. So it's because I pre-plan. So I already know like what's going to be where, and how it's going to be, like you'll see it right here. So within my folder. So I know what's going to be the introduction. I know what's going to be in the body and how it's going to fit into everything. I have it right here. So let's say I always drag. Let's say I needed to pop it in somewhere. I don't know where it ended up. 1 second, guys. Let me undo. Then I'm able to actually just drop it in,
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I wanted to reference it again here. I can easily just drop it in there.
I really enjoy your title cards, I have to say. I think those.
Thank you.
Yeah. If we could pan over to one of them, I just want to point out maybe to the good audience people, some of the things that make them so good. So like, all the attention is brought into the middle, right? It's like a sandwich, right? We've got busy border, and then neutral middle, and then the actual stuff we want to pay attention to is in the very middle. So it's like increasing, like we're moving in with varying degrees of difference until we arrive at the center. So your mind is brought immediately into the middle. So it's flawless. It's great.
Thank you. And it's so funny, even now that you're saying it, I think like now, because I did these a while ago and I just continuously use them, but I would remove like the little logo and the website now. Have you ever looked back at something like later, like after, and been like, yeah, I would have done that differently?
Oh, yeah. I got videos on YouTube from 10 years ago that people are still asking questions about. I'm forced to revisit my past
those
times.
moments.
Hey, remember a decade ago when your audio was so bad?
Oh,
I have a comment about that. Oh boy.
Today. But yeah, so I feel like it's just easier to do things in this way. So especially when you plan out your content, and for online course videos, because I knew that I was going to cover 3 parts, because I like to say 3 to 5 is a good number so that your video is not too long or too short. Mm-hmm. So I knew my 3 points, so I just created cards for them, like created those title cards for them. So I know that I could just drop it in there easily.
I would have been overly complicated and animated the background.
See, I know. And that's the thing. Like, it's so funny because I feel like, yes, as a creator, I want to do things like that. But realistically, is my student going to be looking at that? Like, how is that going to change what they're going to be able to accomplish by the end of the video?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if anything, it would probably distract from actually reading.
Exactly, because what's going to happen is they're going to be like, how did you do that? I want to know. And I'm like, well, that's not the point of the lesson.
Yeah. Pretty classic.
Yeah.
Classic teacher problems.
Yeah, it's like, that's not what I put this video out for. Mm-hmm. And then they come back and like, well, so how do I record the video? Well, the video was about that.
That was the thesis. Yeah.
You were paying attention to the animations. So that's a good way to think about videos for course creation. Like, how is what I'm doing, how is it affected? Like, am I doing this for ego?
Right.
Right?
Does it serve me or does it serve them?
Thank you. Yes. Like, who is this extra thing serving? Me. It makes me feel good. It's not going to help them get to the end goal or objective any quicker, or, it's not going to speed up that process. So then it doesn't need to be in there. And that's where the simplicity of a program like Rush comes in for the creator who is, like making a video to sell products and services. If I'm looking at a webinar, let's say, so I would edit a webinar in here because it's going to be so much easier for me to do that because if I have animations in a webinar, it takes away the sales. It takes away that sell, so there's specific formats or formulas that we use for webinars. And so it's like anything extra that you add might just mess up that whole call to action.
Right. That flow is disrupted. Attention is deviated.
Exactly. So for things like that, I would definitely come into Rush and create. That way I can get in and out because I know that the goal is really specific and that the simplest thing can throw things off.
Well, let's keep going through and thinking about these transitions. I'd love to, we got 15 minutes, 13 minutes now. And
so for these, I can't remember who asked that question, but that was a really good question. Just making sure that this is cross-fading into the next, so that it's a bit seamless and not like that dead stop or that song beginning over and over again. That's always helpful, right? So I like zooming in to do this just so that we're able to, I can just hit equal and zoom in, right? We spoke about that yesterday.
Which, I mean, it happens to also be the plus key.
There you go. Right, so just making sure, and doing a dissolve out so that when it's done, it's done. And so another thing that I really like doing is here, because we have so I would cut this right here. Actually, make sure you're selecting whatever you're cutting. And what I might do is, because there's no words here, I might bring this volume up a bit because it's, what am I doing? Here we go. Because it's just the words, right? Right, and then it dissolves into, and actually, because I don't speak until, so let's get a little more technical. If I look at that waveform, I can see that I spoke somewhere there. So I can actually cut like right before I, didn't I just tell myself this? I can actually cut like right before there, and I can bring this volume up so that it fades into when I'm actually speaking, right? And you would also test and try for that too, to see. I'm gonna go back in here and put a cross dissolve right here. Actually, wait, I did something wrong. Hold on.
That volume looks pretty jacked up.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, I don't even want to turn it on.
Looks like a big waveform.
Yeah, it looks like it's, yeah, it would blow my ears out if I.
That's big waveform energy.
That part. Wait.
It says clip volume normal.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, maybe it's just not rendering the waveform.
Maybe.
Let's find out.
I'm nervous to find out. No, I
think it might be wild.
That looks crazy right now.
Control Z.
I know. That's exactly what I'll do. Like, wait, but nothing is happening. Okay, we got to test then. Let's see. Whew. Okay. Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, that is blown up.
Huh.
Well, now it seems to be returning to normal volumes.
Yes. Okay, so I want to, that's so weird. What happened there?
Good question.
Hmm. That is really weird.
It looks like it got really clipped.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Well, we'll have to use our many, many, many undos,
Yes.
which are
I
saved
did,
in the
but
cloud.
it wasn't doing it. Like, that's so
Oh.
weird.
Something's been altered.
Yeah, I feel like something.
We do have a question. Speaking of alterations, we got a question from Noor in the chat. Lots of good questions from Noor. Glad you're coming up with all the questions, man. About, is it possible to take a project, then change the aspect ratio, for example, from the horizontal, like this is a 16:9, and then change that to maybe a vertical or maybe a square, and have everything be kind of responsive in that way if we wanted to, I don't know, kick this out in a square thing or something. How would we go about making that happen?
Yeah, and so that's what I was saying about I love using Rush for social for easy just clipping things and such for social, because what it does is it makes everything responsive. So even if I had call outs and things like that, like sometimes when you're editing elsewhere, you have to resize these things. And so being that you don't have to do that is always really helpful. And so you're able to just send out to different platforms, which is the best thing ever, right? So let's say you can see that this got resized for, what do you call it? For this size, right? And so you're able to, like, it's resized now for, I'm blanking on.
Oh yeah, for vertical and
for vertical, yes. Right. So that's the cool thing about it. Let's see.
And some of the shots are going to be difficult, right? Because that is a very horizontally framed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yes. But if it was like something else, it would easily just, resize this, yes, because it's B-roll and it was, created for this size. So that was a good call, Evan. But yes. So it's kind of like, so even if we kind of scrub back on that, I can just go, move this around and center myself, and then it becomes an IGTV video easily.
It is an interesting conundrum that we go through with framing, right? Because usually we want like rule of thirds when we're filming, and then when we go to reposition this stuff, middle center becomes the most important place to place things. It's quite a shift. I think
it is quite a shift. You're so right about that.
There are a lot of people who I think to this day remain unhappy about new formats, but that's how change works. Life's always
does
changing.
And I feel like I went through that as well, because I love this format of content, and so I was a bit stubborn when IGTV came out, because I felt like now there's less creative space or room to, but then when you think about it, like if I'm really trying over here, like to do a rule of thirds, it's going to cut me off if I move like to the, so you end up having to like, center yourself, and it just ends up being a bit more appeasing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where we get the tools like auto reframe.
Yes.
That kind of works.
So helpful.
Usually works fairly well. And 4x5. Who wants 4x5?
Well, if you're doing feed content for IGTV, for Instagram, if you're doing feed content, like you can catch people with this size. It's the best thing ever, because it's not the square. It's a bit longer than the square. So, I love to stop the show. So it's a bit bigger than the square. So I use it a lot because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember in my early days, we were transitioning from 4:3 to 16:9. And people were unhappy then, right?
Yeah.
And then, I've already seen it once, right? Like we've already seen a transition once. It's not that hard. And
exactly.
And I mean, if you start doing stadium graphics and stuff, you'll never see a normal ratio again, right? It's 16,000 by 16.
Right.
Cool screen size, everybody.
Exactly. Whoa.
Yeah. Some of those like Jumbotron, like those big bands you see around stadiums, they are like 16 pixels tall by like hundreds of thousands of pixels around, and that's the screen.
Wow.
Because it's
Yeah.
older technology when 16 pixels was something cool.
Wow. Whoa, guys. Wow.
Get out
That's
here with
good
these
to
16
know.
pixels. They're
Right.
they're great. But when you're so far away from it, like that's the CRT
That is true.
effect.
Exactly.
Blurs. All right, because we got
Yeah.
5 minutes before we get in. What else can we show people here before we're reviewing stuff?
Yeah. So the cool thing about all of this is, I mean, I would still have more that I would love to do to this to make it perfect. Like I said, if you are with me over at XayLi Barclay, on YouTube, you can see when I upload that final video. I'll do it just for this, but the cool thing is that I'm able to, let's say, upload directly to YouTube, or I can do a local export, right? And have it go there as well. So that to me is really cool. I can also send directly to Facebook or Instagram or Behance, right?
Always send to Behance. Behance is where we want you to send things.
There you go. Yes. So like Evan was saying, for the people watching on YouTube, come over to Behance.
That's where the party's at. I love the auto export feature on here. Like it's one of the things that I think is, for anyone who is like in the marketing department and who's in a comms situation, like when you're removing little steps, right? You remove all the little steps and everything just flows. Oh, project's done. Boop.
Yeah. So helpful.
Yeah. Keep it in the cloud, people.
Exactly. And even speaking about that, like being able to edit here, edit on my phone, edit on my iPad, like for me, game changer, because I am always on the go. So if I'm waiting for a coffee at the coffee shop and that's taking a while, I can sit down and start moving things around and organizing things. And then I can come open up on my laptop and finish off, or open up on my desktop and complete it all, because sometimes I like to get on a bigger screen so I can really go in and move things around before export. So
I know we talked about it a little bit, but you're saying you're able to record voiceover right in Rush?
Yeah, and that is really, really cool because hey, who wouldn't want to do that? But you can just hit record. I don't want to mess up our audio, but yes, you can. I almost did yesterday, but you can just head in here and click record and actually record in here. And I think that was really awesome as well.
Yeah, like anytime you have to do like pickups or anything, like I had a different idea for this script. Let me try that out.
Yeah,
yes, that works.
Right. And because the video is segmented and I know what's going where, I can easily just, record a voiceover for a portion of that. So that's also really, really cool. So just being able to do so many different things in here, although it seems like a simple program, you can also do some really cool things.
Sometimes simple is better. Yeah,
I feel that way.
Oh, man. And for everybody watching, do let us know, because even though we have some entries to give feedback on, we're going to be hanging out for the rest of the time as well. So we're going to be with you for what is it, till 2:30 my local time. But we're going to be with you for about another half hour. So do stick around, because we got more things to be doing here in Rush. We want to hear more of your questions about Rush. Everybody's got some good quandaries. Also, I'd love to just know what kind of content people are making, what kind of content they want to make. You're here with a content creator coach, so
Evan, what kind of microphone are you using?
Oh boy,
I think you mentioned Did you mention it yesterday?
I did. Yeah, it was. This is a Rode microphone Procaster XLR feeding into a Focusrite Scarlett. I think this is a Claret.
You did say it yesterday. Yes, right.
And I don't know if it's the mic. It could be the preamps there that cause a lot of the good vocal modulation.
So good, yeah.
It could also be my unhealthy lifestyles as a youth that have rendered me with this kind of voice. So it takes all manner of things to arrive at this situation. Oh, I get a lot of terrible sore throats. I have to drink the calming, soothing tea all the time.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. It's because I talk for like 4 hours a day.
Yeah,
every day.
exactly.
It hurts
Yes.
hurts your voice. But I'll say this about voice: the more you use it, the more control you have over it. So if you want to have more vocal range, you simply must push yourself. So let's get
Taking
on with the
notes.
challenge.
Yes.
So we're at that time where we're going to
Yeah.
view some challenge entries. So let's get in there. I'm interested in what's going on. There it is. All right, so we're going to do a little screen changeover. All of these entries compiled on the Discord server, which is where you want to be hanging out. So we are going to have a look back. This is everything we got in on today's August 20th. Yeah, so let's have a look at today's entries. This one from yesterday though is in widescreen.
Oh,
let's go back to yesterday a little bit because I'm really interested in these ones now. Yeah, because this one's in Cinerama. I know we talked a little bit about aspect ratios.
Yeah.
There was a time when people who were literally making film stock were competing. Just play me. I'll load this up while I'm talking about film stock. But like there was a competition, right? There was no standard for film. How big are the actual physical film frames going to be? And are they going to be 2-to-1? Are they going to be like is it going to be Kodak? Are they going to win? And so you end up with all these really interesting film stock things,
right.
all of them requiring their own various chemicals to develop. So
Just play music. Just play music. Just play music. Just play music. Welcome to my channel, Just Play Music. On this channel, we're going to celebrate all things music. If you're looking for some new content to binge, this is it. Be sure to click the subscribe button and that notification bell for new videos will be released each week. Subscribe!
That was awesome.
That was so good.
We've switched genres to.
That was so good.
Oh man, so that's H Johnny who brought that in yesterday. So cool.
Wow.
It's really interesting. Like I know we talked a bit about music, right? But how his that choice of music, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was really impactful.
Yes, like he used it. Yeah. Wow. All right.
Well, I like that one. That's too bad we didn't have that one yesterday. That would have really Okay. Well, today we've got some new entries. This one here, which is dropped in by Bob, the Adobe Guy 2020, as of 4:17 in the morning. Oh boy.
Bob, you got some hours there.
That's true. You got to put in the time.
Yeah.
Their YouTube is Hoodie X. Let's see if I can full screen this one before I press a play.
Hi, I'm Jason Levine, and welcome to Just Play Music. On this channel, we're going to celebrate all things music, all different types of styles, different genres, everything played and performed, nothing generated, nothing sequenced. If you're looking for songs with great stories and good messages and good meanings to teach your kids, you're going to find them here. If you're looking for some new content to binge, this is it. Be sure to click the subscribe button and that notification bell for new videos will be released each week. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to just play music. I think that's enough. Watch this. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Why am I pointing?
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, that was good.
Yeah.
Was neat.
Some good call outs.
Man, that we were talking about call outs. Those were used to great effect. It had an interesting like post credit sequence on it.
Yes, I saw that. That was pretty cool.
It was good. Let's try. We got from SSR.
Hi.
Yeah, let's see how this one goes down. Here we go. It's like I'm having YouTube playing problems. Oh.
Hi, I'm Jason. On this channel, we're going to celebrate all things music. All different types of styles, different genres, everything played and performed, nothing generated, nothing sequenced. If you're looking for some new content to binge, this is it. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, just play music.
I could really see this on Instagram, like a good Yeah, especially with the titles and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. That was good use of.
Making good use of the various callouts that we have at our disposal. I would be interested, we should have looked at all of the clips that everybody started with, right? To see.
I think that's what I would have. Yeah. Even when I think back yesterday, yes. Seeing all the clips of like what people started with would have been really cool.
What were the building blocks? Because some of them, I'm seeing some of them are making use of like clips we didn't even see yesterday.
Exactly.
So it's an interesting, we'll say like director's choice, films are made in the editing room. So
yes, that part.
We go out, we get a bunch of footage, and then we just see what happens. But I love it. This one is from Al Seaman, full name Alan. So let's load this one up here.
Hi, I'm Jason Levine, and welcome to Just Play Music. All different types of styles, different genres, everything played and performed, nothing generated, nothing sequenced. Don't forget to just play music. Subscribe! I think that's enough.
That was really good.
Oh, yeah. That was fantastic. Punchy, right?
Yeah.
It had those hits.
Yeah.
Post-credit scene again.
Yes. That was really good.
It's got that humanizing element that we've been talking about, right? Like to humanize, say, like, oh, you know what? Stuff isn't perfect. Let's leave some of those bloops
Yes,
in.
I love that. Yeah. So true.
Got to keep those bloops. And this is from Inanis. And let's see. This is from the YouTube channel, Inanis's House of Buns. So look, I'm a sucker. I've watched The Great Canadian Bake Off more times than is healthy. Causes me to do baking.
Hi, I'm Jason, and welcome to my channel, Just Play Music. All different types of styles, different genres, everything played and performed, nothing generated, nothing sequenced. And you're also going to find musical instruction along the way from myself and a host of other artists that I worked with, specifically shot for the Just Play Music show. If you're looking for some new content to binge, you're going to find it here. Be sure to click the subscribe button and that notification bell for new videos will be released each week. Subscribe, turn on notifications. Why am I pointing? Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to just play music.
That one worked. That was good.
I know, that was so cool. I really loved that they left the title there, so it's kind of like it ended up being a bit of branding, kind of like just play music.
Yeah.
I like that.
We got the arrow.
Yeah.
That goes away. Just play music. That comes into the corner.
Yeah, I loved that.
And then, I mean, eventually this square goes away.
Yeah, and it still looks good, even though the square went away. But yeah. And he kind of pointed to it at some point too. Not intentionally, but it was placed really well.
Well, it's got that bit of meta commentary in there that like, why am I pointing?
Pointing? That is so cool.
Oh. That's why Jason's an all-star. His delivery is so good. But yeah, those are the entries that we had today. So keep sending in entries, keep doing the challenges throughout the week. There are always more challenges for us to meet. And we've got Illustrator challenges, we've got video challenges. There's new ones coming up all the time, every week. So, thanks to everyone who submitted these things. They're all really good. And that they make such creative use of space and music and tone. And I don't know, it's so cool just to see that everyone starts with these same raw ingredients and goes to totally different places.
It's always something different. Yeah, that is so cool. Like, well.
Now, if you had to pick a favorite from today and yesterday, what do you think it would be?
Oh man, that's hard.
I only ask the hard questions.
I know. I feel like the cinematic, the one with the aspect ratio, I feel that was really good. And then the other one that's today then. The other one, that one, I liked that one.
Yeah, Cinerama.
Yes. And then the other one that had the dramatic music, that was really good too.
Yeah, there's I don't know, it's hard to choose.
Well, there are a few, yes. But
I think
what was your favorite?
For me, I think it was actually the last one for me, because it's
that was really good too.
Like I know I've got recency primacy bias going on here, but it's That one really...
I was trying not to do that.
Which one was your favorite?
The last one.
And the last one I saw. Okay.
No, that last one was really good too. I love that it just ended up with a branded look, like at the end, where you know
why that's our favorite? Because it was
why?
delivered in 4:5 aspect ratio, the secret aspect ratio that tricks you into liking it. All right, let's.
There you go.
Yeah. We've got some more time. Let's slowly transition. We'll get back into some final fine points about Rush. Let's get into it, because we did have some quandaries. Here's one. Yeah. We may be going into some challenge mode here.
Yeah.
Taking audience requests perhaps. Yes. Krishna is asking, can we reverse the video? Can we play a video backwards? Can we alter its speed? Is that a feature now?
Yes, you can alter speed here. So let's say it's something that you want to speed up. You can. Let me see. I'm going to try to find a clip that I can do it to, or I'll just do it to this one.
Yeah, because this is a pan, right?
Oh yeah, it is. Well, it is a bit of a pan. Let's see. Yeah, actually, this is perfect to do that too. Hold on. You know, when you try to catch it exactly like when it starts. But yes, so let's see. Now you can see that it's decreasing that size, because now I will say for this, like, you have to think about this in advance, because remember, my audio is matched up. Wait, so if it was like just a regular...
keep in mind here that I am at the center of the room, and I am actually using the camera to pan around exactly what is going on in the room, right? So this is basically what I just...
You know what's kind of funny? Because it's now quicker, I can see where I had some shake. Could you have seen that, Evan? Like,
yeah,
when it was slower. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, little things like that make such a difference, right?
Here's a life hack for folks.
Here's a life hack.
If your camera has the ability, I think a lot of them do. I think a lot of phones have this. You can film in 120 frames per second.
Yes.
And you're going to just pan around the room. Switch it into 120, do your pan. You're going to have more frames to play with.
Yes.
You slow that down, people are going to think you're so smooth.
Butter. The butter of the situation.
Yeah. Who has time to buy a Steadicam?
Right.
Impossible. However, there's also like the warp stabilizer effects and stuff that you can drop on things to smooth it out. It's like taking an iron to your foot.
You're right. Yes, but yes, you can play with speed in here, which is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, a little speed tab. That was I think when Rush first launched, that was like the #1 feature request. Like,
oh really? Wow.
You
know why? I could, especially if you're using it on mobile, like I can see where you would really want to take advantage of that, like, you know, of being able to speed things up, especially if it's like more of a vlog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I could see where, you know, you're filming people driving or people walking and you just want to speed that up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like.
Yeah, speed it up, slow it down. It's got a nice little speed ramping function.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's definitely a space to play around with. Especially, I know we talked a little bit about like how something in the feed needs to grab attention.
Yeah.
And one of those great ways is like, well, all the other footage on the timeline is going normal speed. This one's going super speed. Let's see what's going on with that.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah. So it kind of, yes, I like that. It puts you back in that space. Another really cool thing that I love is the preset of it all, where you're able to kind of go in and figure out, like, let me see if I can find a good space for us to, trying to find my face somewhere. So let's say, I'll just cut that. And I like, sometimes I oversaturate. But because I just like standing out in that way, but you're also able to get in there and move things around. You can even create your own presets. So kind of like Evan said, like, let's get you back into the content. You're probably falling asleep and, you know, you want to switch something up for a bit. So you, or you're probably saying something sad and, you know, you put it in black and white, you know, now I'm hearing the violins. Like,
this is the Instagram filter.
Yes, it is.
We want to drop on here. And kind of what we were saying about film stock, right? Like, some of these are called Kodak. We got Fuji. And like, these are named after various filmic looks that would have a little trivia for people out there.
I know, right?
Once upon a time, and this is where the idea of cross processing came from. So you could take Kodak film, treat it with Fuji chemicals, you end up with a really crazy look.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it
did not know that. Huh.
It's a weird thing, because then it shifts what color gets treated to what with the different chemical processes that we now fake using curves and levels.
That part.
Everything is fake. Are there any? What are your favorite kind of like color grading that you go to? What do you dip into?
I know. I love more blues. I love being like on the blue side of things way more than yellow. But it's so funny. The other day I asked on my timeline for Instagram, and I put 2 photos that were edited differently. And I said that I love the blues, and most people love the yellows. And I do realize that if I am more in a yellow tone, I get more engagement.
Interesting.
So interesting.
There's a lot of psychology of color.
Yes, exactly.
Like you'll notice a lot of food brands have very similar coloring in their logos and stuff.
That is so true. Yes.
Certain colors are said to make us hungry.
Or buy, or trust. Blue is supposed to make you trust.
Right. We see a lot of tech companies in blue. We see a lot of medical companies in blue.
Yes. Yep. So, and for me, I really think about it when I think about sales buttons on pages. You know, for me, everything goes back to online courses. So, using blue in your brand in that way, I know that was really intentional for me. That reddish, I don't like red, but if I had that like reddish pinkish tone, it was still kind of like red, like buy here or purchase here or check out here, so I could have still used that in my branding for checkout buttons and things like that. So it's so important to pay attention to those things, because a lot of times we don't think about it, but it's like
it's really interesting to think about like differentiation and all these things. Oh, and Design Innovations says they have a question. We'll lay it on us. We want to get your questions. Give us your questions. Don't bury the lead on your questions, folks. We want them. That's what we're here for. I have a question.
I know. What are your preferences for color grading, Evan? Like
monochrome.
How do you feel about that? Gotcha.
I'm a monochromatic person for several reasons. One, I do not balance colors super well. So it's kind of a cheat for me. Also, I really enjoy positive and negative space. I love playing with this high contrast. So higher contrast things.
Me too. Yeah.
Like in motion design, you know, we have full control over the palette, right? We're not filming anything usually. But just the idea that what we're going to do is strip away so many colors. So usually I'll do like black, white, single color, or black, white, single color, then 2 extreme like shades of that. So 2 extreme tints of that. That gets me kind of where I'd like to be. Or I start playing around like, well, all the shadows are going to be dark blue. And so all of the highlights are going to be like a light blue. So we swap those out. I'm like a five color maximum kind of person. Even that's kind of pushing.
Yeah.
To tone it down to 4. But usually my palettes are kind of like that. Sometimes though, you know, pastels can be fun.
Yes,
I'm really loving like a nice pastel gradient these days. Maybe I'm just getting softer in my mid 30s. That's fine. It happens to us all. Here's the question. The question that we've been on Tinterhooks.
Dying to hear. Yes.
They don't design innovation saying, I don't know if you guys covered this already, but they would love to know if we can add transitions, or are we stuck with just these three? So like we were talking about earlier, we did cover this a little bit, but yeah, let's revisit transitions a little bit more as we are transitioning to the end of the show here.
So transitions are, yes. And for me, it's one of the reasons why I love Rush, because they gave us a few transitions here. The thing about it is, we were speaking about timelessness earlier, like, yes. And so having simple tools, like you have your cross dissolve, you have your dip to black, your dip to white. So it just makes it much more simple than, I know, like for me, if I look back at old videos and I'll see a transition where a bunch of squares appeared and then they disappeared. And I'm like, what was I even, why?
Why did I max out the switcher like that?
So I feel like I have grown to love simple transitions. So, but yes, so this is what is available. You have your pan and zoom as well. And, you know, your auto reframe. So
some things that I'll say about transitions, even though these are the kind of 4 mechanical things we can do in post, right? There's a lot of really creative in-camera things you can do.
Yes.
I really recommend, like, if you know you're going to try to transition out of an interview, right, then you should probably think about, oh, maybe I'll do a whip pan out of that, right?
Yeah,
I'll jerk the camera really fast, and then on the next thing that we're coming into, I'll whip pan, continue in that same direction. I know that shot leads into this one, so it's got to come in like, this, and that's just a cut. It's just a cut or a dissolve mechanically. But it's the action that leads you in and out. It's so interesting.
I think TikTok is inspiring us learning all of those things, right? Like,
one of the things that's so great is to see what's old becoming new again.
Yes.
In that way, like these are all things before there was the technology to do this. The only thing editors had was a cut, right? Physically, we're going to cut the film. We're going to stitch
exactly.
Together.
You're so right.
Well, that's great, but here's everything that we can do with that. You know, someone's going to come up and they're going to cover the camera, and they're going to take their hand away. If people are interested in more Rush content, I think it's Tori Elba is the surfer that we see doing a lot of this stuff. She talks about these transitions that are very covering the camera, uncovering the camera. The camera goes underwater, comes up out of the water, like all those moments of confusion. Anyway, that's if people want more Rush content. We are coming into the end of it here, so now's the time we should recap all the things that we did here on the show. What did we get into today?
So today we got into adding titles, adding transitions. Also, we spoke a bit about B-roll, which was pretty cool because yesterday we mentioned it, but today we got a bit deeper into the B-rolling of it all, which is so much fun.
Pretty deep on B-roll.
Yeah. It's so much fun because you get to add so much depth to whatever it is you're creating, you know? So just little tricks and tips like that. We also spoke about adding audio, how to create that seamless transition throughout your audio so that you don't start and stop your song. Because sometimes most songs are going to be like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. And, you know, you want to make sure that you can layer it out for the full duration of your video, right? So we spoke about that as well. What else did we speak about? I think that was
getting into a lot of call outs, getting into a lot of branding.
Yes,
talking branding today.
Yes, because that's important too. Like I was sharing with you guys, you know, having specific color. I just realized that some of my branding colors are here and it kind of looks like the primary colors, but which I never even noticed. But yeah, so, you know, having branding colors that are reflective of who you are, what you're creating, and all of that stuff, and adding that into Rush and using it to create a difference, you know? So even though you're using simple tools, simple call outs, simple titles, you're able to brand your content. I am a stickler for that, so.
Branding is important. Well, speaking of branding, XayLi, I want to thank you so much for being on the show, for hanging out with us here. Where can people find more of you around the internet? Where can people learn more from you? You are a content creator coach, so let the people know where they can find you on the internet.
You can find me all over the internet. All you got to do is search XayLi Barclay. Search XayLi Barclay everywhere. I'm the same. I go by the same name everywhere. So that's XayLi Barclay. And come say hi. I love saying hi to people. I love connecting with people. If you share this on social, tag me. I really love communicating with folks. So yeah.
And all the stuff that we worked on today will be up on behance.net, so you can grab all the stuff there. You can check it out on the Adobe YouTube channel. These videos can be up there for all time and all space. So they're going to be hanging out. If you would like to learn more things, though, you should be sticking around for the rest of the day. So many good things are going to be happening here on Adobe Live. We've got a rich, full day of activities coming up. Because after this, there is another creative challenge, like we talked about. We're always challenging you. So Julia's got a challenge for you in Illustrator. Then we've got some editorial design coming up with Ashley Armstrong. Then we got a creative challenge in XD, if you're like prototyping, making apps. And then we've got Drawn Along with Kyle T. Webster. And finally, Design Off with Voodoo Val and me from Good Rad Funny. So rich, full day of things. Definitely stick around for the day and stay with us. I've been your host, Evan Abrams, for Adobe Live. Find me on the internet at EC Abrams if you wish. XayLi, thank you so much again for coming out. We learned so much. I had a great time. I feel like we've grown closer together as people, and
we're friends, Evan. We are friends. I think we need a show too. So, we've got to talk about that. We have a good vibe going on here.
Yeah. I mean, it'll start with me singing Blue Cantrell's Hit 'em Up Style.
See you. You shared it, not me.
That's true. I mean, we teased it.
We became friends at that moment.
that was a moment. That happened off air, folks.
Yeah.
However, thanks again so much. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Stick with us. More to come. And bye for now.